Botrytis is a curse and a blessing. Obviously, it's a curse when it comes too early. It can destroy the shoots, it can destroy the bunches, and it can cause sour rot on unripe grapes. When it comes at the right time, it's a blessing, because then it really brings the grapes into another dimension they normally wouldn't get to without the help of Botrytis. Fungus, the spores penetrate the skins when they're thin enough. The grape consists of 80+% water, so you have deflating of the balloon, basically. It's like a balloon, only it doesn't pop, but they slowly let go water. And you concentrate the sugar and acidity and everything that makes you taste. Plus, Botrytis adds its own honeyed flavor and its variations on honey and smoke. Botrytis also adds viscosity. So wines made from Botrytised grapes, or with a higher proportion of Botrytis in the grapes, will always have more density, will have a little more viscosity and richness. And in the wine that you have in your glass right now, it's 2006 Beerenauslese. In fact, this would qualify for Trockenbeerenauslese. So really? This wine is a super BA made in a ripeness level that would make a mini TBA. 2006, beautiful summer, ripe grapes. Come September, late September, we get Mediterranean weather, warm, moist air from the south, and quite a bit of rain in September, which created problems in the south, that is Alsace and Baden in Germany, which are side by side. And the further north you went, the less rain we got, plus ripening was a little later. Further up north, traditionally is a little later. But there was still moisture, and Botrytis loves moisture and warm temperatures. So we got infections in the vineyards in late September, early October on already very ripe grapes. And the normal procedure when you pick in a quality-minded winery or estate, you will not send the machines through, which we can't anyways, because it's too steep. You will send the crew through your vineyards to weed out imperfect fruit. Drop everything that's not good. That's common sense. In our case, we would go through, do that, and clean the vineyards from Botrytised grapes, because we still want to make dry wine in a portion of our vineyards, and dry wine is best from yellow, healthy grapes. So what we did is sent the whole crew through, said, okay, drop the bad fruit, take out the Botrytis, good Botrytis, leave the yellow fruit because we need so and so much dry wine. Did that for a week. I went back to the vineyards. We started on the 3rd of October of 2006. Went back to the vineyards 4 days later. The same vineyard that we left with yellow healthy grapes was looking brown. I said, what is this? So there was so much infection in the air, and the weather was warm and the moisture was in the ground, that the Botrytis just went rampant. And we saw this happen every day we picked. 3 days later, the infections were back there, and so I said, okay, this is a moot point. Botrytis is there, no way to battle against it. We made our small proportion of dry wine from the little affected or infected grapes, and then we said, this is a Botrytis vintage, we'll make sweet wine. Many of my colleagues tried to battle against it, and that is, you pick Botrytised grapes and then you try to get the Botrytis out by using a lot of purified charcoal, like whiskey filtration. And basically you rob the wines of a lot of flavor. You still have high alcohol and an awkward flavor, so 06 dry wines were not so exciting. We, in retrospect, made the right decision, said forget about, we'll have not enough dry wine, but we'll go for a sweet wine. So we picked after the Botrytis. And here's something, if you look at the color of that wine in your glass right now, normally if you're in this league of ripeness, it's amber color. Sometimes it looks like motor oil, very dark. And why is that? Usually in order to collect enough grapes to make such a wine, you need some time. We, for example, in 2009 spent 10 days as hunters and gatherers and just plucking whatever Botrytis we found, put it in a cold storage, and then wait until we had enough to crush and press. So what happens when you have a slow botrytization is the grapes, you know, get the fissures, they start to oxidize, oxidation browns, right? So this is why in these standard sweet wines you have a deep golden color by means of oxidation. Nothing wrong, you know, but the color is deep. In 06, since it went so fast and we were picking fast through the vineyards, the grapes did not have time to oxidize. It's the first time where we have super concentrated botrytized wines with a relatively pale color and brilliant acidity. So 06 is unique in all the vintages that I've seen, tasted, known, whereby you have relatively pale, fresh, high acid, but immensely concentrated botrytis wines. So you get the botrytis on the nose, you get the honeyed, slightly smoky, you get the richness, the sweetness, but it comes in a very light package. That's what makes 06 a very, very special vintage. And I dare say, and I've done a couple of bets with knowledgeable people, this will outlive any botrytis vintage that exists.